And welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a high-level Heroes of the Storm game. It'll just go ahead and run right into it. This is in solo queue, or you can queue with up to 4 or 5 people, but I believe these guys are maybe 2 or 3 because we got a couple of the barrel boys here in this game. It is on the blue team as Tyrandy, Toy 718. Whambulance is playing Sitches, Epinephrine playing Illidan, Tonic on Valla, Ratan Uther. And then on the red team we have Kerrigan, twostep, gopa on Muradin, McIntyre, the Lost Vikings, erho on Tyrael, and Trummel on Jaina. McIntyre and Trummel, I think you probably will recognize that. Bear with me, there is no auto observer, so I am basically going to have to wing it. Wow, that was a beautiful owl going right across all 4 of that team. Slowed them down pretty good. And Epinephrine over here on Illidan over on the side. Going to try and do some flanking. Not really. They're going to fight over this watchtower, which does happen in most of these games at the very beginning. There's a big old team fight trying to get an advantage on one or the other. And it looks like the watchtower is going to go to red, which is a pretty big advantage to start off. They're going to try and pick someone off, but no one actually goes down. But anyway, as I was saying, there is no observer mode, so I'm just going to have to wing it and kind of move around, and I'll try and catch as much as I can. If I miss something, I apologize. We do have the mini-map right down here. I'll do my best to check it out. And Illidan drives into 3 guys here, actually. An Illidan Valla lane on this one. Now, notice how close these 2 lanes are to each other. You can pretty much consider them the same. And then there's this objective that pops up. That is the chest, and every time it hits it, it'll, not every time, but most of the time it'll pop out a little coin. I'm going to assume that most everyone isn't super familiar with this game, and Illidan goes all the way in and gets a kill onto Jaina. Wow, that was just really fast. I wasn't even able to keep up with that. Epinephrine, the killer. Illidan is a huge pick in this game. He's very powerful right now, and it looks like Sitches was trying to get some coins. He is able to come up with 1, but I think the red team got all the other ones. Yep, they got 9 on their side, and they are not going to bother turning it in just yet, because as you can see down here, it takes 10 before you activate the cannon. And it seems Muradin is okay with turning 1 in. Jaina does a lot of damage, and Kerrigan, it looks like, does get the pull, but didn't pull off the stun, that didn't properly do the combo, didn't stun Tyrandy. So she's going to sit there and just keep auto-attacking. She can heal herself up, and a pull on Valla, but she can just vault right away. No problem there. But I'm just going to assume that not everyone knows a whole lot about this game. It goes pretty fast, so I'll try to keep up. But I'll try and give you a little bit of information as far as the mechanics as well and some of the strategy behind some of these plays. These bushes, obviously, just like League, you can't be seen in the bushes. And it looks like Jaina is a huge damage dealer. As long as she can get a combo, which she usually does, that crit pops up, she does a bunch of damage. And it looks like Uther's a little bit out of position. He's going to get slowed, going to get hit by Tyrael a lot, but it looks like trying to get Jaina again is Illidan, but he gets stunned. He gets locked down just a little bit. Can they finish it? And he's just a little bit, yes, he does go down. Looks like blue team Illidan does go down, so it's 1 kill on each side. Everyone still has all their forts, obviously. The watchtower goes right back to red because they got that Illidan kill, so it's a pretty solid position play for them. And it looks like Stitch is just going to go against one of the Vikings. Now, the Vikings is a character that is made up of 3, not just 1. So it's 1 person, just in a very traditional StarCraft style, controlling 3 different characters. But none of them are quite as strong as a normal hero like this. But there is 3 of them, and they are pretty nasty right now. Looks like Uther here trying to get a kill on, I believe that one's Balog, and yes, he does get the kill on Balog. He goes down with Valla there, and so they did turn it up. While that was going on, they turned in enough. The cannon's going to go off, going to blow up all these towers, and one by one it'll start taking them out. And it looks like Uther's all by himself against Tyrael and Kerrigan over here, and wow, Jaina took a whole lot of damage from that little skirmish with Valla, and here's going to be another one coming in. Trummel chases up on this. No, he's going to stay back. He doesn't have very much health. He doesn't want to go too crazy on it. Kerrigan looks like, again, got the pull, but not the stun onto Tyrandy there, and the owl goes across, does a little bit of damage. Tyrael's just sitting in the bush, just soaking up some XP. So, and on that note, XP is a group thing. This is our XP bar, and it's for the whole team. So when 1 person on the team is in range of XP, they get XP for the whole team. And everyone levels together. So needless to say, leveling is a pretty big deal. And of course, level 10 is your heroic, or as most people would know it, as an ultimate. So if one team hits 10 before the other, it's a pretty large advantage. Right now they're pretty very even, as a matter of fact. And he misses the stun again, but he gets the pull, and it looks like Jaina's going to do her tons of damage getting those crits, but he heals himself up. Uther is a healer, and he is able to walk right out of that, no problem. And actually, it looks like these guys taking a lot of return damage from Valla and Tyrande, but Valla is not going to be in too much trouble either way. They're all pretty good. Watchtower's still under control of red, so they can see every rotation that is made by the blue team. And there goes Muradin jumping in with a little bit of low health. He misses the stun on the Valla, but there goes Kerrigan jumping on and misses both of her skill shots. Valla does not care about any of that, and a lot of damage going on to those three. She in fact throws them up, and there's the Vikings coming in. An instant drop from the huge damage that Jaina brings out, and just a little bit of distraction from the Vikings is all that one takes. And it looks like there's actually a 1v1 between Illidan and Tyrael down here. They're fighting over this camp right here. They wanted to pick up this siege camp, but it looks like, I don't know who's going to win here. There's Kerrigan to try and help it up. He does get the pull again, and he does the stun, and he's healing himself, but he might take Tyrael down. No, the shield is enough. Sitches even pulls a siege giant out of that. That was a little bit weird, but the coins and the Merc camp go to the red. Now in this game, when you grab a Merc camp, they switch over to your side and they start pushing for you. A very powerful mechanic and a somewhat difficult one to lock down for your team. It looks like it is going to be a skirmish here. Tyrande, Uther, and Valla going to try and take on Muradin and Jaina, and here comes the two Vikings to join the fight, as well as Kerrigan from below. Star Call goes down, that is ultimate, and there is the ultimate from Valla doing a bunch of damage in that circle right there. Kerrigan did not use hers just yet. And it looks like there's Illidan's. He transforms, gets a bunch of health and damage, and he actually gets pushed out into the tower range. The tower's hitting him a little bit. He isn't able to finish one. There's an ultimate from both Jaina and the Ultralisk from Kerrigan, and it looks like Balog goes down. Kerrigan kind of jumps into it. He does land the stun on Tyrande, and Tyrande is going to go down. That's how powerful that combo is when you can actually land it. And wow, so that was a lot of action going down. We got 1.5 kills on blue. You're probably wondering what that means. Well, 4 kills on the red one, that's obvious, but when you kill a Viking, since they are not a full character, they only count as a quarter of a kill. Yes, I know, there's 3 of them, it should count for a third. It doesn't, it counts for a quarter of a kill. So that explains the 1.5. They have a full kill plus 2 Viking kills, if that makes sense. And it also counts on his scoreboard as the deaths that way. So we have a little bit of a second. Looks like some turn-ins going to go from red here. They're going to turn in. If they get all of these, it'll be 12. But the stun goes down. They only turn in the 3. So Muradin still has 7. That's a little bit of a dangerous situation for them. Illidan has 4. That's going to be enough to put them to their 10. And meanwhile, it looks like red team and Sitches just put down a bunch of bile. And he does grab Tyrael, but that's probably not going to be a whole lot. Tyrael's a pretty strong tank, but Illidan jumps on him anyway. The stun, while he transfers over with his sword teleport. Jaina, they actually catch out of position entirely. The ultimate goes down for Valla, but he gets blocked by the water elemental. Not good enough. There's Tyrael. He charges into Valla, and in fact uses it as an escape, goes under the fort, and they're not going to venture under the fort. In this game, while these little dots here, they represent the ammo that the fort has. It can only shoot that many times. But while the towers up front, they've been destroyed on this side, so let me give you these ones. These towers all have the same ammo mechanic, but they just do a little bit less damage, and the fort one's also slow, so it's a dangerous situation. That was the ultimate from the Vikings, and the Divine Storm goes down from Uther. He does stun just one Viking, though. Star Call from the 2, and Olaf goes down. That was one of the Vikings as well. Balog goes down as Illidan takes him out with the Assassination and the Metamorphosis, and he actually just goes right back to those. Anyways, so yeah, that was a little bit of action going there. They got a couple kills. It's now 3-4. We got a couple more Vikings down, and they also, who did they kill though? I missed it. Well, while we got a second, we'll try and, they're going to be doing, looks like they're just going to be doing some Merc camps, turning in some stuff here, trying to reset. We'll look at the talents just a little bit. And it looks like Sitches did pick up the Putrid Bile, which is kind of like throwing down an AoE slow and damage. And let's see what else we got here. Muradin picked up Transform, which increases his health and makes him stun while he's auto-attacking. Pretty good. We got the Ultralisk and the Water Elemental we've seen from Jaina and Kerrigan. Tyrael charges and does a Judgment. And the Vikings have that longboat they jump in. Let's see who else. Starfall we know about, and So yeah, any questions, definitely put them in the comments. I'll try and explain or do less explaining if you prefer. Meanwhile, we got a fight going down here, and it looks like Sitch is going to take a lot of damage from this Kerrigan, and the ultimate going down from Valla, but he's not going to do that much to that much of the team. And it looks like the Bruiser camp did go to the blue team, but it's going to go immediately eliminated before it can get anything done. And the red team is actually turning in, just finished turning in enough to blow up some forts there as well. Well, not fort, but the towers in between. And those cannons do so much damage. Look at that, just 2 take out one of those cannons. And it looks like red team going to resecure this while they push bottom lane. But he does get stunned under the turret. It's not super dangerous, this one turret in particular, especially to someone like Tyrael, who's a tank. And it looks like they're going to turn it around on Uther, who went a little bit far, but wow, the Vikings just taking tons of damage. And there is Illidan ulting into the fight, but he decides against it. And they're turning around on Uther again, but he heals himself. A beautiful bait, and there's Illidan. He is able to finish it, but the longboat destroys Illidan right back, and his passive. And Olaf actually gets pulled, but that is the tankiest of the Vikings. I don't think he's going to go down there. And so you saw the ghost from Tyrael. Whenever Tyrael dies, his passive is that he gets turned into kind of you might remember as a Cogmaw ultimate, and he does damage to those around him. But anyway, it looks like they're going to attempt to turn in here. A stun and a hook from Sitches, and a ton of damage goes to Kerrigan instantly, and he actually gets tore up. And there is the Putrid Vial going around. If they go anywhere in this, they get slowed in damage. They don't want to go near that, so they decide to back off and just try and get some camps here. These little side camps that are very easy drop just coins that they can use to turn in, which, as you can see, they just got 12 turned in on the blue side. They're going to start blowing up some cannons and forts over here, which they are severely behind in that situation. So they've both lost 1 fort, and it looks like it's both been in this lane as well. So they're both doing a fairly good job. I mean, we got 5 kills on this side and 6 kills for the red. So it's a pretty even game. Looks like blue's going to go for the boss. The boss is actually the tougher minion, and when he goes down a lane, he will tear it up if you're not killing him for it. He does that stun as well as that little root that goes out, a couple abilities there. It looks like red team is going to counter by taking a fort bottom, which is pretty big. The forts do give a lot of XP when you finish them, but so does the boss. And if it takes forts by itself, then that's even more trouble. But that's okay. It's a pretty good trade for them. They just have to back and actually answer this, so it leaves them a little bit vulnerable to split push and for vision in general. So we'll watch this boss just kind of 2-shot that fort there. There it goes. So each team has lost an additional fort, and they're just going to go ahead and take out this boss as fast as they can. It takes, as you can see, a lot of damage. We're talking 4 full heroes pretty much just bashing on this thing. And I love watching the micro from the Vikings, because remember, they can be controlled together or as individual units as the player sees fit, and it's just a really unique mechanic, and it's really interesting to watch how they handle that particular hero. So here's the fort, kind of shooting on Sitches there, one of the tankiest on their team. Probably going to take a while for that. They do take down that one, and they are going to get ahead with a fort kill. Only 3 forts left for our red team. And that is all keeps, actually. Those are not called forts, those are keeps. Those are the inner ones, and they do blow siege. It looks like a big team fight about to happen here. Tyrael engages on. There is Illidan going into all 4 of them. He does pop that into the longboat. The Vikings pick him up, and they're just doing their longboat raid. A lot of damage into Illidan. In fact, he gets killed. He is dropped. The longboat's going to go down there. Divine Storm stuns a couple, and Kerrigan jumps on Uther, and he goes down. Muradin is ulted. He's got all of his health, and he's trying to get in, but no, he gets damaged huge. Goes down, and there's Sitches as well. They finally finish him off. I'm not sure what Tyrandy's doing, kind of just jumped into there. He wanted to get Kerrigan, but Kerrigan's out of the fight just enough. They take him down, and it is going to be, looks like going to be the ace. Almost, it's kind of close. No, okay, there goes Valla. So it's an ace for just 1 on the side of red. Kerrigan almost went down. Tyrael was low, but they all managed their health very effectively, and were able to finish off that, and they got a lot of coins out of it. Let's check out how many they got here. Oh, well, I guess it wasn't that many, but they do got 9 coins uncontested now, and there goes a dead Viking. So it is a very tough champion or hero to handle, but when you do, it does pretty well. They also have reduced respawns, so it usually doesn't take them nearly as long as a normal hero to come back when they do die. It's not as big a deal, but, you know, still painful in either case. But let's see what we got going on. Just looks like the neutral minions being taken by the red team. They're picking up all those coins. They're going to get a lot. They got a total of 13 right now. And it looks like they're going to go to turn it in. They only need 7 more. And that owl is not going to get anything exciting. The chests have just popped. And it looks like Illidan Uther, they're definitely going to get that top one real quick. Wow, red team gonna trio this one with Tyrael walk in, and we'll see if she walks into trouble. No, she makes better of it, just uses it for the vision. And it looks like Tyrael and Valla kind of facing up here. Kerrigan does kind of get caught out, but he barely jumps right out of the Stitches pull, and in fact that stun goes down. The Valla ultimate as well. The stun is, every time Stitches slams now, it's gonna be a stun at this point. You got that, and there's the Starfall, and is able to take out Tyrael, and the stun is enough to get the Kerrigan down, and a lot of health on Muradin, but against 3 in the Divine Storm, it's not enough. In fact, the Longboat Raid turns around bottom. They didn't quite set that up very well. Stitches, in fact, goes down along with Tyrael, but there is Illidan to pick that up. He thinks he can do it. It's going to be close. The slow is just painful. Slow is so painful from Jaina. Jaina is such a good champion. Increases the damage bonus, increases the duration. And yeah, it's not an extra slow, but it is still a very good slow in either case. So they are able to turn in some. They got 14 out of 16. They just need 2 coins, which it does not look like the blue team has. And so the 6 and the 5 on each individual Viking here definitely going to be enough to let them have some more shots on the cannon. But there is already an additional fort here. Oh, I spoke too soon. It just went down as we said that. The minions killed it right before Blue could finish and hold it off. So now that is going to be blowing up keep turrets. And that is a pretty big deal. Once the keeps go down, it spawns an extra minion behind your normal wave. And it is the siege minion. And it's actually a catapult. And it can sit outside of range of your core and shoot it and just take it out while, if you're not paying attention or killing them, there's nothing that can stop them. So it looks like there might be a fight here. I think they're pinging like they want to go to boss. Yeah, it's got 7 seconds. The red team can see this timer. So they're just checking it out, but they know there's going to be a fight here over it. There's just got to be, because anyone who pulls with that thing, the pull goes on to Tyrael. He takes a lot of initial damage, but not very much. Muradin and the Ultralisk get stunned. Putrid Bile has gone down. The Starfall has gone down as well. The ultimate from Valla not actually doing a whole lot. Didn't get a whole lot of damage done. And it looks like they do get chased out as a whole team, but we're not really sure how this is going to go. And it looks like the Barrow Boys team is on the run, and Illidan gets into, and the stun happens, a perfect stun on the whole team. Divine Storm goes down as well. They get locked down for so long, and there is so much damage going out from the Illidan. He just goes to wherever he wants now. Kerrigan as well as Uther and Muradin are down. Oh, not Uther, but Muradin is down, and there's a stun on